Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Supergirl. This time we're on Season 5, Episode 4, titled In Plain Sight. And in the last one, we had Malifec returning in the form of Sean Astin, or more like specifically like an old army friend, army colleague of Kelly's, and using her to try and get his powers back. He lost his power of mind control whilst in the Phantom Zone, so her exposing him to Q waves, I believe it was, from the Obsidian North lenses allowed him to regain his power of mind control, and he used that against her. And but him using the powers on her made it so that she was connected to him in a way that, like, even if he shapeshifted into another person, she could still see it was him. He had like the kind of white glow around him, and she kept on calling him out as he transformed into different people. So upon realizing that, the group kind of deduced that as long as she was connected to him, as long as she could see him, who he really was, she was a threat to him, and Malifec would work even harder to try and take her out for good. So the end result was them sending Kelly away with James to try and take her to a safer location until they sort out the whole Malifec thing, which kind of, I guess, kind of means Alex and Kelly are kind of taking her on like a little long distance thing. I don't know if they're still going to be visitation or anything like that, but she is kind of away from National City until the Malifec thing is dealt with, and we got to a I believe it was in the last episode that we actually had... Yeah, it was in the last episode. We had Nia and Jean working together to try and have Jean unlock more bits of his memory that were missing or corrupted or whatever. And we got a bit of Malefec's history unlocked, in the sense that we found out that he wasn't actually born with the right kind of Martian ability, so to speak. He wasn't born with a strong connection to the natural Martian hive mind. He was actually born with a weaker connection, but also with the power to control other people's minds and to inflict his own will upon them, hence the green eyes. But because of this, he was kind of bullied as a child, and so he kind of lashed out at his brother and the other kids, and then Mirren locked him away when he was just a kid and left him there, and until I presume until he found a way to deal with it, but he never really did. He just kind of fell into a pit of despair and stuff, and then after that, after having been isolated for so long, he Malefec allied himself with the White Martians, and then started doing his traitory business towards the Green Martians, and helped the White Martians during the Martian Civil War, and then that sent Mirren into an even deeper pit of despair, and Jean originally thought that it was because of his anguish that his father actually wiped both his own mind and Jean's mind, but then it turned out that Jean was the one who wiped his father's mind and his own mind out of seeing his father so deep in anguish and despair, and then wiped his own mind of actually having done it as well. So in Martian culture, wiping someone's mind is pretty much the greatest sin. I think for them it pretty much equates to murder, so he took a really big hit from that, and he didn't tell the group. He just said, he imprisoned Malefec in the Phantom Zone, so that's probably why he holds a grudge. So now I think he is just kind of working on actually getting through to Malefec and seeing if he can talk to him, if that's even a thing. But yeah, stuff with Malefec is they're on thin ice. I'd say they are on especially thin ice, especially with Jean. But hopefully he can get through to him, and hopefully he can actually talk to him and see what's what. I have a feeling here it's a case of like too little, too late, and he's not like going to specifically want to be able to talk to Jean about it. I mean, he tried at the end of the last episode, but Malefec wasn't too kind of confident or too interested in having any kind of peaceful chit chat right now. So I don't know how that's going to change, or if that's going to change, but I guess we'll see. So Kelly was sent away for her safety. We had Lena manipulating Kara just a little bit, kind of like realizing that the deeper kind of knowledge behind Q waves was something that Lex had, and it's what he had locked away in his notebooks, which the government took under their own kind of federal custody. So she kind of lied to Kara about having... Well, I mean, we don't know if she lied, but for context's sake, let's just say she lied to Kara about having night terrors and about how reading through Lex's old journals was the only way to resolve those night terrors, but then his journals were locked away in Fort Summit, so in order to help her friend, Kara then, or her friend, Kara then broke into Fort Summit and stole, I think, one of Lex's watches, I think, and also of course the notebooks that Lena wanted, and then returned them to her at the end of the day. And to top things all off, she had lunch with Lena and brought her food, flew to another country and brought her freshly made food like scones and all sorts of other baked goods and stuff from Dublin and Paris and Milan, I believe, as well. Like her favorite foods from different countries imported fresh. So that happened. But yeah, I think Lena, I don't know. She unlocked the Q-Wave secrets from Lex's journals through Hope deciphering it. So now she knows exactly what she needs to do to fix her technology and to make sure it actually works and whatnot. So I mean, how much closer she is to completing this project, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if it's as simple as hacking the technology that she has and making sure that she can remove all of that kind of emotional stuff and initiate the do no harm protocol onto humans. But either way, she is that much closer now that she has Lex's understanding of Q waves, which is undoubtedly quite a bit and quite in depth. But yeah, she has those notes. We had Brainy and Nia going through their own thing, like Brainy just becoming obsessed with poetry all of a sudden and just, writing a poem apparently to every body part that Nia has. One of which was her, I think the most recent one was her left earlobe. So whether he had done the right earlobe or not, I'm not entirely sure, or if maybe that was next on the list, but he was just overdoing it. He was overdoing it a lot, and Nia eventually kind of broke down and just said, you know what, enough's enough, this is way too much, I love you, but this is too much love for me to handle. To which Brainy made the good counter argument of saying that, he is someone who operates typically at 100%, that's all he knows how to do. But even then, that's a him problem, not a her problem, so I mean, he walked out of the apartment after that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping that then they're not on the verge of breaking up. I'm hoping that's not a signal of a breakup, and maybe it's just him going to think things over and see what he can do to make Nia more comfortable. But Nia herself looked, frankly, worried about what was going on, and maybe about whether she'd upset Brainy or not. But knowing Brainy, I think he's just going to go to contemplate things and see how he can fix the relationship and how he can perform at a different level for Nia's comfort and also 100% for everyone else. But yeah, I mean, I'm cautious, but I'm not. I'm trying not to be too worried about the whole Brainy thing. I'm certain they'll get over it. I'm certain that they'll get through it and find some kind of compromise to actually work their relationship at. But yeah, that was that. And we also had William at the end. William, he was in the beginning, he threatened Dr. Niles Jarrett, I believe his name was, and then that guy died to a spider assassin lady. Spider assassin lady died to a shadowy assassin figure who most likely was not Stannis Baratheon. But then he was seen at the end meeting some guy on a public bench and being like, I don't know how long I can keep the rest of us going. But then the other guy gave him a newspaper covered in covering a wad of cash. So he's being paid off to do something very sinister. So I have no good feelings about him. But yeah, he's quickly going from saboteur to someone who has far more nefarious kind of agendas at play. So what tricks he's got up his sleeve, I am intrigued to see, but I'm also worried to see what it means for the people around him, like who he's actually working with, what he's doing, that sort of stuff. Like the guy he threatened literally ended up dead, and he said like you do not want this to go south, you will not like it if things go south. So I don't know what kind of warnings he's giving out to other people, but we will see. But that's pretty much all I have from episode 3. So episode 4, In Plain Sight. Let's go.
You can't touch me without hurting yourself.
That's why he brought me.
Oh, okay. Everyone's shapeshifting then. Everyone's shapeshifting today. Yep, literally everyone's shapeshifting. Oh, crap. Oh, crapsicles. Whoa. Good catch. Oh, nice shot. That was a good sugar shot. Oh, sugar beans.
If we had had the Vertex blaster, Malifec could have incepted one of us to use it on Jean.
That's true. That's a fair point.
Let's have Brainy try to fix it first.
Yeah, I mean, I get Alex. She's worried at this. She wants to get this situation solved as quickly as possible, but killing is not something I think they should move into too quickly.
Didn't you ask about me?
No.
Not that I care. I mean, not that I don't care. It's not a big deal.
I'll call Lena.
You sure? It's not a big deal, Brainy?
I'll be right over. If we were able to harness Malifec's abilities, we could use them to determine what frequency is needed to implant thoughts into the brain.
Lena, mind control is not the answer. That's incredibly invasive and
I
it's...
doubt Supergirl or her friends would approve. No. I don't think they would.
Lena. Come on. Okay. Taking over Eve's mind with hope is one thing. Now you're talking about mind controlling people with your technology. This is not the path to go down. What the hell? Kids?
Busco a Elena Torres.
Lo siento, señorita.
Kara speaks Spanish? Really? And Mr. William Day walks away. And gets into a car with a creepy enough looking dude.
It is killing me that Kelly is in danger because of me and my job, and I am terrified that he's gonna use me somehow to get to her, and I just keep praying that she's safe.
Oh god, the ultimate superhero crisis. The ultimate superhero crisis.
I miss that.
Camp down in your living room and I can make it up to you by coming over and eating bad food.
Yeah. Misery loves company. So, what do you say?
Also give you guys a chance to actually, you know, talk about what's been happening. You know. I mean, they haven't trashed the place, they've just been using it as a shelter pretty much. Oh, sugary donuts.
You really could have
Huh.
hurt the lady. Supergirl?
Oh, come on, how does I get... This stuff is... Okay. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? Do you really need to what? Do you need to what? Did she just suck the air out of her lungs? Whoa. She actually went blue.
Alex?
Yeah, that's new.
Supergirl's bringing
A friggin' airbender.
Yes, ma'am.
No chance. Kelly. Oh god.
Now my brother's friend is his enemy.
Oh god, Kelly, no! No, Kelly, Alex, no!
It's a racket. The cops, judges, lawyers, everyone's in on it. They keep the prison full.
Jeez.
The prison keeps their pockets lined.
How's nobody stood up against them?
Ah,
Call these guys
of
out.
course, corruption in law enforcement.
Nobody's gonna speak up and risk themselves.
Will you have
Will you
help
help?
me?
Yes.
Was that so hard, Mr. Collion?
That would go a long way with Mia.
Maybe they should get like alien couples therapy. Maybe that would help. And she's gonna try out some of that mind control-y business, isn't she?
My advertisers, they pull their money. Not only am I out of a job, but so are the 30 other people I employ. Go back to National City. I like to think of you there.
No, we know
Just
we know
glance at me
James.
and
He can't walk away from something like this.
And I'm glad it was you.
I know it's something that we could work through together, but he thinks that it's his problem to solve, and now he won't even talk to me.
Well, you know how Brainy is. Sometimes human emotions just
Yeah,
throw
that does sound like a
him.
brainy thing to do.
I think he just needs time. How I thought that I was the one putting Kelly in danger, and you just stood there, knowing that it wasn't my fault. That it was yours. You had me.
This isn't
convinced
Alex,
that
John. This
Malifec
isn't
was the
Alex.
monster.
This isn't
But he
Alex.
wasn't just some bad guy. Malifec isn't the monster here, Sean.
Oh god.
You are.
Aww.
Alex.
He's possessing her, Jean. He's mind controlling her. He's making her say all of this and do all of this.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thanks for the help and the food. See you around.
Hey, Simon.
He just feels like he's being abandoned, even with help coming his way.
So selfish of me to burden Nia with my secret and keep this from you and Alex.
Well, this is an understandably personal thing. It's not something he would just gloss over lightly.
She deserves to know the truth, and so do you.
It couldn't have been Nia. She's been with me.
It was Malifec. Come on, Alex. Come on, Alex. Come on, Alex. Come on, Alex. You're in there. You're in there. We know you're in there.
You did what you could for him, James.
Oh,
It wasn't enough.
oh, back under his
Simon
control.
says,
The Martian Manhunter, a coward who left his family to face an agonizing
Oh,
death.
okay. No, not a very kind documentary. Not a very kind documentary. Oh crap. Come on, Alex, come on, Alex, come on, Alex. No, 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 stop shooting, Alex.
never should have banished you. It's not too late.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, is that it? Oh, is he out of Alex's mind? He's out of Alex's mind. Jean? Nope. Just mind-controlled humans. Oh, great. Oh, fan-friggin-tastic. They need help.
We are not gonna lose you.
A bomb? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Boom. Boom. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, phased her right out of it. Phased her out of it. Okay. And Supergirl can take the blast. Supergirl can take the blast. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, there we go. Did he get him? Did he get him?
So Malefic's
He got him,
back in the
right?
Phantom Zone.
He got him. He got
I'm
him.
sorry
Okay. He
that
got
you
him.
couldn't save him.
Now that I know who you actually are.
We'll get used to it because you are now officially a super friend. We have t-shirts and a handshake. I'll teach it to you. It's not a big deal. The whole thing. We're going out to get drinks tonight. Do you want to go?
Oh, you can tell Melissa's really into that as well. You can tell she's really into
We
that.
should get back to Elcor, of course.
Oh, how quickly that smile falters, Lena.
Since Malifec is gone, how about less cheers? Cheers.
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 But I was driving myself crazy trying to figure out where
He's gonna go back to Calvin Town.
to put those efforts. I'm going back to Calvin Town. Going home.
He's leaving National
I have to
City.
show that town that there is somebody who's willing to fight for them. I'm gonna buy the Calvin Town Gazette.
Damn. He's gonna buy it.
For a newspaper, but she can't stop me.
My feelings are springing out, and I can't seem to find a little box to contain them.
Okay, try this.
Oh god, yeah. The box of tissues.
To James.
Perfect box to contain your emotions.
No,
To James.
to you guys.
Now that you know, at least I can be honest with you. At least maybe you can forgive me.
This still sounds too good to be true. It sounds way too good to be true.
I don't blame you. I don't doubt that you can take care of everything you set your mind to.
Wow. Can't believe you came back.
I don't know. That seems too good to be true.
My dad gave me this camera.
Damn, passing it down generations. I like it. Yeah, and he gets a new job too. Yeah.
It's Jimmy.
I don't think of this as a prison. I'm not your enemy. In fact, I think we can help each other.
She's gonna work with Malifec. Oh, Lena, you are going down all the wrong paths here, girl. You are going down all the wrong paths here. This is some. I don't even know what to say anymore. Okay, yeah, I actually don't know what to say anymore. So let's start with William, actually. So William is not so much a shadow assassin as he, I mean, well, we can't guarantee that he's not, but he's not so much he's not so much that as he is investigating Andrea and the people around her, and also using inside help like Sergio and Ms. Torres. I'm going to call her Ms. because I immediately forgot her first name. I immediately got Elena Torres. I think it was Elena. Yeah. But William isn't is not the kind of toxic douchebag he claims to not be the toxic douchebag that we thought he was. I don't know. I mean, that whole explanation seems way too good to be true. Like to me, the delivery of that seems way too good to be true. Like, oh, just say it was all a cover. Say you're really nice deep down, and it hurt you to say all those mean things, and then she'll believe you. Like, because it's happened in various other TV shows and stuff before, like someone seemingly reveals that they're actually just undercover as a dickwad, and then that they're deep down they're really nice and they're just trying to be undercover and investigate someone else, but then later on it turns out they're not pretending anything, they really are just actually shit deep down. So I mean, it just seems too good to be true. I'm not really gonna I'm not really up for giving him the benefit of the doubt just yet. I mean, he could be. I mean, I feel like he said he'd been the Rojas conspiracy, the Rojas criminal conspiracy was a conspiracy theory built up for over 2 years, and he's been trying to get to the bottom of it, and that's why he got a job at Catco so that he could get closer to Andrea and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, for all we know, he could just be getting a piece of it. I mean, why else would he be paid off? I think it could just be the fact that I'm not thinking about that stuff properly, or maybe I just kind of misunderstood with the information that Nia found out. But either way, I'm still just wondering why the other stuff would happen. Unless the killing was something Andrea herself wanted to happen, so he paid people he paid someone off to fake Elena Torres' death. Again, I feel like that first name sounds really off. I don't know why. I don't know why I've suddenly forgotten her first name. It was literally just mentioned. But yeah, that kind of stuff. It just ticks me off. So that whole ending just seems really too good to be true. He's just suddenly pretending that he's undercover and that he's actually really nice, and then it hurt him to be to be mean to her. It just doesn't feel legitimate to me. So. Yeah, and then him saying "Oh, it hurt me to say that your articles were trash and all that sort of stuff," when really deep down it's really honest and really artsy, and it's really the best and all that sort of stuff. It just seems too good to be true. I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt yet. Just yet. I mean, if they explore that side of him a bit more and they actually do showcase him out to be a good guy and not so much of a jerk, then I might consider it. But right now, just seems to be too good to be true, so I don't know how to feel about that. But he did say he was investigating Andrea, and he had been since his job at the Times, and he moved into America and got a job at Catco to get closer to her, and he's been working to uncover the Rojas criminal history ever since. But yeah, I mean, I mean. There's no. I mean, again, it could be Andrea paying people off to assassinate people out to get her or her family. That would explain those deaths. But I mean, other than that, he just mentioned crimes and corruption, but he didn't really explain what it was, whether it was money, whether it was murder, whether it was bribery or what it was. But apparently there's a criminal conspiracy running through the Rojas family that he's determined to uncover. So yeah, but that was that. I mean, again, I really don't really know what else to say about that one. I think again, he could be telling the truth, but he could also maybe want in on it secretly. He may want to partner up with Andrea, or maybe he was working with her from London anyway, and he just came over to America to be closer to the operation. There could be other stories at play. I just I just want to put all the cards out on the table before coming to a solid conclusion. And again, I think granted, I might be a bit biased because I don't fully trust him yet, but yeah, that is pretty much what I think for now. I'm not willing to give him the benefit of the doubt just yet. So maybe like a little longer, and maybe I'll change my mind. But we will see. We will see. That's that. What else? Yeah, but geez, where else do I start from? So Kelly and James went to Calvin Town, which I assume was their hometown where they grew up. And found Simon and his friends just kind of using their house as a shelter. He said sometimes they crash out in the woods, and sometimes they crash at the house and just hang out there. But the place has been run down since they left. It's changed a lot, and it's mainly because of that prison. The entire law enforcement system is corrupt, and people doing petty theft can be given extremely long years in there. Can't even talk anymore. They can be given incredibly long years in behind bars. So that kind of thing. I mean, I think he said his mum stole a small portable a space heater or something, like a portable heater, and then she, which was only like $30 or something. It was petty theft in her case, but she was given 10 years for it. So yeah, but I mean, James leaving to fix that corruption. I mean, it's definitely in character for him. He has always stood for social justice. He's always been that kind of a journalist. He's always wanted to use his power and use the power of media to help people and to get the smaller voices out into the open, and to get everyone's opinions out into the open, and to actually help minority groups, and to just kind of to uncover all sorts of crime and all sorts of injustice and all that stuff. So him leaving to fix that kind of corruption and to save the smaller people who were doing barely anything in terms of crime but still getting persecuted to hell for it, is definitely something he would do. So I think him leaving, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I don't know if we're still going to be seeing him from a Calvin Town perspective, or if it's going to be less screen time for him because he's outside an actual city. But either way, I think this is also him kind of getting the legacy passed down from his own, his original boss down to him. He bought the newspaper, and he gave Simon the job of being a photographer as well. He gave his the camera that he got from his dad to Simon as well. So he's helping to rehabilitate the kids as well. The kids likely have nowhere to go because their parents are all gone. Or because most of the people in the town are gone because they've done small crime or very, very little crime, but they're just still being persecuted for it. So the kids just kind of don't really go to many places, and they just hang out by themselves, and they don't really do much or get up to much. So this allows them to actually do something with their lives as well. So that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, James, I think it's gonna be an interesting thing to see him do, to actually see him. Well, again, if we do see him, it's gonna be interesting to see him uncovering that kind of crime and exposing those high levels of corruption and taking it down. Because his boss did say that he couldn't do it because if he did, they would come after the paper and he would lose his job, and all the other 30 journalists as well would lose their job. So with James in charge, he will not back down without a fight. We know that much. He will not back down without a single fight. He will keep his employees protected, and he will keep Simon protected. So he will take the fight to them, and he will not back down. So I think we can count on Calvin Town being restored to its presumably to its former more open and warm and welcome town that Kelly and James grew up in, and that they actually grew up to love. So yeah, that's that. That was that. We had Lena considering mind control. Okay, I will say this. I mean, I don't know if I actually mentioned it in the second episode. I think I don't think I mentioned it in the second episode, but I will say this. I do not agree with Lena having used Eve to allow Hope to possess someone. I don't agree with Lena allowing Hope to possess Eve, her being controlled like that. I do not agree with that. Technological possession is not that kind of, well, any kind of possession is not something I agree with. That's just, that is definitely mind control in and of itself. She Hope is controlling her body and her mind, and that's definitely against Eve's will. So That is not something I agree with. That is why I don't know if I mentioned that before, but to get it out of the way, do not agree with it. But, you know, like what Malifec was doing, he was wrong as well with him incepting his own will onto others. That was his main power, but it was still wrong. So with this, her kind of immediately assuming that mind control is the answer to achieving her endgame is very wrong. That is very, very wrong. I mean, she moves from wanting to remove the parts of the human mind that make people want to inflict pain onto others. She goes from that straight to mind control, wanting to make people into non-lethal zombies, pretty much. That is not the way to go either. Like forcing people to think the way you want them to think is not the way to go. That is not the way to go. And I think her coming across all of this new technology, all this new stuff, is definitely kind of a bad sign. It opens the floodgates to her having more nefarious agendas. But again, like the difference between all of this is that Lena, you know, like Lena, she's just like this is all because she's hurt. She's hurt after having been kept in the dark from Kara's secret for so long. She's tired of being lied to. She's tired of being kept in the dark. She's tired of having secrets hidden from her. And like all the pain that's being unbottled from years of being lied to is just, you know, like hitting her harder than she anticipated, and it's hitting her too hard for her to actually process correctly. So she thinks controlling other people and making other people feel the same hurt is the way to actually remedy this, which is not. But again, she's not thinking straight. She's in a lot of pain. So, you know, this is not going to end well. It's really not going to end well. And now she has Malifec under her possession. She hacked the she hacked the Phantom Zone teleporter thingy to actually have Malifec teleported to her own lab. So now she's going to use her own tech so now she's going to work with Malifec to try and extract his mind control abilities and use that in her tech and use that to mind control people. So I have no idea how that's going to go down. But yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way. I do not condone any of this. Not her mind and body controlling Eve with hope. Not her using mind control to control all of humanity and to stop them from hurting each other. Just none of it. Lena is in pain, and her doing this science project is her way of trying to and also failing to process that pain. Yeah, the sooner Kara and company catch onto this little project of hers and try and steer her in the correct direction, the sooner they can actually shut this project down before someone gets hurt even worse than her or Eve. But yeah, I do hope she doesn't actually get the chance to control anybody, because if she does, she's probably going to do some regrettable and questionable things which no one wants. So yeah, I don't know what her plans are with Malifec's powers exactly, but I mean I don't know if she can actually like extract any of Malifec's actual power, or what can happen with that. But I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm just really worried about what paths Lena might actually go down now that she has an alien who literally has the power of mind control, and like what kind of things she's going to extract from him, and what she's even going to do with him afterwards. But yeah, that kind of stuff I'm not too confident about. I like if anything, it just makes me worry about Lena more. Like she's going down an even darker path of wanting to unintentionally hurting other people because she herself is in pain. So yeah, but I mean, Lena just she can't just talk to Kara about this, can she? She has to just be all spiteful and just, yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, she comes from a family of lies. She said this many times. She comes from a family of lies. She grew up with manipulation and lying and all of that stuff. So to have her own best friend, like you know, I mean, with Kara, with Lena, with Kara, she didn't even lie with it. Like she didn't deny. I mean, she refused to give her true identity, sure. But she never explicitly lied to her. She just kept her true identity for the sake of protection. But as far as Lena thinks, it's like, oh, she's being kept in the dark, she's being lied to, she's being manipulated, all of this stuff. So this is her trying to and failing to process her emotions correctly. But yeah, I honestly don't know how this is gonna go, or how badly this is gonna go. It's gonna go pretty badly, I'm sure of that much. But I don't know exactly how badly it's gonna go at all. But yeah, that is Lena's mind control project. What else? Alex being okay. So Alex's confrontation with Jean, I was confused about that because in the moment I was like, oh, that's just Malefic control, like mind controlling Alex, obviously. But then she starts talking about how she sent Alex away, how she sent Kelly away, and how she like felt vilified for that stuff. Like the stuff she said about Kelly, about sending her away and feeling like she was the bad guy, that it was her fault for not being able to protect her, when really it was John's thing. That, like, after watching the scene, that it had me confused because, like, it had me, like, thinking, like, you know, like, that's not stuff that, I mean, it doesn't seem like stuff that Malefic himself would explicitly say. Like, he wouldn't be too worried about having hurt Jean's friend. He'd be more concerned and he'd be more focused on hurting Jean. So, the stuff with Kelly, I mean, I guess he did still manage to explore Alex's mind and find out that they sent Kelly away, so he could have used that against her, but at the same time, it felt partly like it was Alex's anger, and it, like, in the moment, it felt like it was Alex's anger, Alex taking out her anger of having to send Kelly away from Jean as well. But later on, like, the real Alex did confirm that, you know, she would never think that stuff. She knows that Jean is not the kind of person to hide stuff from people in order to hurt them. He would hide it from them to protect them. But in this particular case, this was also something that was deeply personal to Jean, and he couldn't just open up and talk about it like it was a therapy session, like a therapy session or something. He was too filled up with guilt to actually, you know, like, talk about it in a sensible manner and actually, you know, like, open up with someone in the right way about it. And he also was trying to overcome his own guilt of having committed this crime in the first place, and especially with his brother calling him a Zindark, a sinner, like, that just kind of, like, cut through the already pretty deep wound that he had suffered from finding out the truth. So yeah, I think in the end that was mostly Malefic, but Kelly was still kind of aware that was happening, or maybe she just knew by the end that about everything she had said to Jean and how it had made him feel, so she wanted to clear the air that way. But now everything is for the most part back to normal. Everything is for the most part back to normal. I think Kelly can now return to National City. Her and Alex can get back to their Netflix and snuggles and cookies and whatever. And Brainy and Nia can actually sort out their stuff as well. Like, seeing Brainy throughout this episode was especially depressing. Like, him just kind of being annoyed at the fact that, you know, he couldn't even figure out how to fix the problem between him and Nia, and he just kept on getting angry at having to be 100% and sort out every little thing as well, like sorting out the Phantom Zone teleporter and the everything else, having to sort out all that stuff and like figure out what was wrong with him and Nia's relationship. Like, it was just depressing as all hell to watch, and like in the end he actually figured out that, you know, this is something he needs to talk to Nia about. Like it is a him problem, but the only way they can actually solve it is to work through it together. It's not exclusive to him. It's a him problem that's also affecting her. So in the end they figure that out, and they will Nia got the message across that she isn't going anywhere either, so he has nothing to worry about in that regard. But yeah, everyone's love life is back to normal and also on the way back to normal, so it's all good. All the love is good in Astral City. That was that. I loved the whole kind of like Watson and Holmes dynamic that Kara and Nia had. Like, I think Nia especially fit in well as like the kind of like the girl behind the screens, like, well, one screen, like, but her actually handling the tech side of actually looking up all the information and sending it back and forth to people and like unlocking all this stuff and finding out like, oh, so get this, so he did this and he sent that there and he's got an offshore account here, like all that sort of stuff. That was really cool to see. But like the whole Holmes and Watson dynamic duo thing that her and Kara had going on was really, really cool to see, and it shows how long they actually get along together, even in the field, even in this kind of detective-y field. So that was a really cool element of the episode to see. But yeah, that was that. But I don't know what else there is. I mean, I honestly don't know how to feel about the William thing, but besides from just not really being confident enough to give him the benefit of the doubt just yet, I think he, in my eyes, he still has a bit of a ways to go. It's like that whole kind of confession scene just seems too good to be true. Like, he has to be hiding something else, or maybe he's just lying about this to try and keep Kara off her. So I mean, Kara even questioned it, how would she know that, you know, he's not just keeping her off the scent line? Him suddenly complimenting her after days of being after weeks of being an arsehole to her is just kind of, I think to me it's just kind of, it's not really like I don't feel like that's going to be all that kind of likely to happen. He's not going to go from like telling her to leave and get out and then just confessing everything to her. That seems kind of that just seems kind of out of character for him. I mean, you know, like he initially goes to tell her to get out before she gets mixed up into all this, and then after she insists like maybe once, maybe 2 times, maybe 3 times at a push, he finally gives in and tells her everything. I mean, again, he could have been making up a lie to get her off the scent, but at the same time, he seems like it seems like he would either lie about the whole thing, or he would just be insistent and just push her out of the building and just get her as far away from the stuff as possible. But then doing that would mean that she keeps coming back to find out what the hell the issue is. So telling her a lie would kind of keep her on one track while he's on the right track to whatever it is he's really planning. But I mean, he could have sprinkled some truth in there to keep it still somewhat balanced. Like maybe the Andrea being part of a criminal conspiracy could be true. Maybe he really is investigating her, but I mean, he could either be investigating it, or he could want to be a part of it, or maybe he could be working with Andrea in secret this whole time. Like, anything is a possibility, but one thing I know for sure, I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt just yet. I need more time and more proof that he actually is who he says he is, and what he's doing is actually what he says he's doing. So we'll see. But that is pretty much all I have. But again, like, Lena, not really confident about the path she's going down, or the paths that lay in front of her now that she has mind control at her disposal. Like, not really confident about that too much, but we'll see exactly how badly this all rolls out, and hopefully Supergirl can actually catch on to, or hopefully Kara/Supergirl can actually catch on to this project before it's too late, and actually draw Lena back from the dark side that she's headed into. But we'll see. We will see. But that is pretty much all I have from this episode. That was Supergirl Season 5 Episode 4, titled In Plain Sight. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in Supergirl. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys next time.